for 2 zoos in Wichita State, Kansas State, KU Engineering.
Hey, I got my tag last week
Yeah.
from my trailer.
It's
Or not my tag, but my
Your title?
And I paid extra, you know. And it came in 2 weeks, week and a half. The last time, it never came for 3 months.
Clock says it's 7:30. We'll call the meeting to order. Hopefully all of you have received your consent agenda. Are there any corrections or additions to the agenda? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, public comments. We have a couple of visitors this morning. Like to weigh in?
Well, I was wondering what your traffic count was out here with the detour.
Oh, there's a lot of traffic.
No, that is.
Okay, if not, we'll move on. Update from Lana Duvall, President.
Good morning.
Morning.
Prospect 324 is a commercial project. We're working with them on site selection. We met with the project managers and the broker on March 18th, and we're preparing some financial projections and identifying a couple of potential sites for them. So hopefully we get that project moving along. 1023, this project is ongoing. We had some follow-up discussions the week of March 18th with them and the utility providers. There's a lot of moving parts and pieces to this one, so we've so far had, I think, 5 different meetings with them with different folks at the table to make sure we're getting all the answers we need.
Narrowed to 2 sites. Is that what's available, or is they narrowed that down?
Yeah, they have a pretty unique site requirements.
Okay.
So they've narrowed it down to 2 sites that they're interested in, and they may end up building on both, depending on how things go. So, yeah. Project 823-2, this is a Western Kansas Corridor project, and they are got their final permit 3 weeks ago. Steve, does that sound right?
Yeah,
I think 3 weeks ago. So,
and their contractor's license last week.
yeah, so they are good to go now. 823-1, we're working with the bank, a local bank, with this project, and I met with them Monday afternoon, met with the bank and answered some additional questions for them. So hopefully this project is able to get through that process quickly now. Been working with a local developer on a couple of different options for housing development. He has not done that in the past, so we're answering some questions and hopefully we can get him excited about doing some of that. We need all the development we can get regarding housing right now. And Hunter's Glen, they are working through USDA on the additional phases. They do have some units occupied now and some others available, ready to go. So we've worked with them on their marketing, and Scott has helped with some of their marketing. They put out postcards, so hopefully they'll start to get those filled up. Those are a little unique because they do have to be ag workers, and that can be a little confusing too, because even, for instance, somebody who works at Tyson doing the gate, the security gate, that's actually a contracted position, and the contractor isn't considered an ag business, even though Tyson obviously is. So there's been some challenges with getting folks qualified. Sligo Station, things are continuing there. The city should take up the development agreement with them for the MIH portion of it at their next meeting in April. So once that's completed, KHRC will give us the go-ahead to move forward. All of the architectural and engineering work is underway, and we're meeting with that team every other week to get things moved forward. And lots of meetings, a lot of meetings on higher ed over the past month, and we have some more coming up this month. So good things happening there. If you weren't able to attend the Newman University coffee with Senator Moran, they were very, very pleased with the turnout they had, and very exciting. Senator Moran mentioned that he thinks he's going to be able to direct about $1.5 million to them for some additional upgrades that they need to serve the students in Garden City. So very exciting stuff.
And the building was full, or the room was full.
Yes, it
Standing
was.
room only.
It was awesome. It was very cool. Also, STEM ribbon cutting is coming up at the community college on April 3rd. That building is way cool. If you haven't had an opportunity to see it, you certainly should. I'll make sure we share that out with your emails so you know exactly when it is. And upcoming events, the chamber banquet is Thursday, April 11th, and the endowment auction is Friday, April 12th. That's all I've got for you. Happy to answer any questions.
Any further questions for Lana? Okay. Up next, Mr. Cottrell.
Good evening, good morning.
We've been working on that one.
Okay, it is International Whiskey Day.
That's the one you like.
Grab some Jameson and go for it.
A little early for that one, Steve.
Is that
It's
why,
evening, that's
is
why I
that
said-
why you were confused about morning?
Yes, sir, yes. It's also Little Red Wagon Day.
Aw.
Well,
Yes.
if
Everybody
you have too
Little
much
Red
whiskey, you got to go home in your little red wagon.
There you
Wagon.
go.
That's right.
Or you should.
And Manatee Appreciation. Can't forget the manatees. They've tried to migrate to Garden City, but there's a problem.
Just that waterway.
Slight issue.
Okay, so it wasn't quite as busy with KDOC since the last board meeting. We only had 4 RFPs as opposed to 7. We submitted 2. One is a plastics recycling operation, and the other is some kind of pharmaceutical plant that the only thing we know right now is they need 15 to 20 acres. So if we end up being in whatever long, short, medium list, we'll learn more when we get utility requirements and may have to back out depending on what they need. As Lana mentioned, we had a commercial developer, site selector, whatever, Zoom meeting. It went pretty well. Look forward to working with them. And I worked on a couple of commercial development concepts at a couple different locations. Did the same on a couple of residential areas, potential residential areas. Randall Estates, all the underground installations have been completed. Road work, I think, should be completed soon. It's so far to drive out there that I can't swing by and check progress. And then for fun, Lana let me attend the afternoon session of the City Commission's goal setting retreat. Brought back a lot of nightmares, pleasant memories. Yeah, a lot of it.
Any questions for Steve? Thank you, Mr. Cottrell.
You're welcome.
Up next, Scott Ost, Communications Director.
Good morning. The new website, we've had 350 visits. Slow, but surely up, better than nothing. Top articles were the new CFO at USD 457, the upcoming endowment auction, and a college alumni spotlight article. Facebook was about average, 1,300 post reach, which is the number who saw anything, 1,100 engagements, and the top posts there were new menu at the airport restaurant, GCHS National Honor Society inductees, Phi Theta Kappa inductees at the college, and GCMN architects post about progress at the sports complex. The Garden City Journal had 5,800 reach, 1,600 engagement. Top posts there were about Senator Moran's visit to Garden City regarding the Newman Partnership and Sean and Shannon's testathon post. Twix, we had about 1,100 Twitterati impressions, which was up 82%, which is good. We have 400 followers now, and the top posts, as you can see, are Senator Moran's visit, student ambassadors at the college named, and the new Buster license plates. That's short and sweet. Any questions on that?
Okay. Thank you, Scott. Up next, Grant Lindberger, Business Development.
Morning.
All right, I've got for you 03241. This client had an existing business. They were looking for finances to help purchase the building of their business. After further discussion, the client's going to try other avenues before possible options that we discussed. And then I have 03242. This client is looking to start a new business. They're in the beginning stages. They have a location in mind. It's currently vacant. Working to find out if the location is viable and while this client gets their business plan in order. And then 03243, this is a client that showed up in Neosera. I reached out to them and I have an upcoming meeting scheduled with them. The FCEDC clients in Neosera are now at 32. And for meetings and initiatives upcoming, there is Kansas Department of Commerce is hosting a WMBD Women and Minority Business Development Certification Workshop. That's going to be held at Garden City Co-op on Tuesday, April 23rd. The time is still determined, to be determined.
Questions for Grant? Thank you, Grant. Up next, Shannon, Director of Analytics.
Morning.
I'm going to save my voice because I'm going to be talking a lot today. We will be helping the school district talk about some future planning of the growth of the city, which that's going to be coming up this year, or within a week. And then also, Placer is going through a major update where they're going to get us down to 1 minute time intervals where we can see right now the short is 3 minutes, the long visits are 7 minutes. They're updating everything, getting more precise data, and we're going to go down to 1 minute intervals that we can measure. So we'll see how that is. That's going to be at the end of the month is when that's going to switch over. So I got to see a preview of the data, and it looks like it's pretty much what we had before. But I think it'll allow us to look at some more specific things, because sometimes that 3 minute isn't enough to capture, like you were talking about, like a scooter or something where people are kind of going through their drive through a little quicker than that. But, so you'll get to hear a lot more about that next month. Want to hear me talk more?
Do you want to tell them about the event today so they know about that?
Yeah, so today we're going to do Shannon.
The guest-a-thon.
Sean and Shannon guest-a-thon. It'll be a 12-hour show. We're going to have a new guest every 30 minutes to talk for about 15 minutes at a time. Starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, go to 9 o'clock at night. We'll be live streaming from Dune Trail, and it'll be on the Garden City Journal Facebook page, and then re-shared to whatever other Facebook pages want to re-share. So Lana will be on at 8:30. She'll do the cleanup hitter.
You all feel good about that?
Tune on in.
Yeah, it'll be very cool. You're welcome to go.
This will be online.
Yeah, it'll be on their Facebook page. It'll also be, you can be there in person.
Starting 9:30 or 9 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
So,
So you're actually lead off that.
No, she's
No.
at 8:30.
I'm on at
Oh,
8:30
9.
tonight, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, I know. They're mean.
It's past her bedtime.
Right, that is.
Lead off to be Katie Guthrie with Garden City Artists. So, Julio?
Questions for Shannon? That's got to
I
be
think
the
so.
quickest presentation.
For him, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll save it for next time.
I have a question,
Yeah.
and I don't know if this has anything to do with us, but what is going on with the school redistricting? Are they closing some schools?
Yeah, so that's what Shannon was talking about with the data.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have some reports that they shared with us yesterday. They contacted us the night before last and said, maybe we need to check the data before we move forward with the plans. So the plan, the data they have has already been in front of the boundary committees, and they had thrown out some kind of initial ideas on school closures, changing grades, moving some grades to different buildings, reconfiguring those buildings. Now they got that information out to the public, and of course had a lot of questions from folks in the community saying, hang on, this is showing we're going to lose enrollment over the next several years. So people didn't feel like maybe that was an accurate representation of what's actually happening. So they did, Superintendent Dr. Dominguez and Roy Cessna reached out to us and said, can you jump in and make sure that we're not missing something in the data sets? So Shannon and I started reviewing those yesterday, and we'll continue checking the assumptions that have been put into the information they have right now, and hopefully we'll be able to help them better understand not only what growth there will be, but where we would anticipate that growth will be geographically within the community. Yeah, so we're helping is the answer.
But my question is, and I still don't know if I should say this, but why would they be closing some schools?
Right, their data is showing them that we're going to have a decline in enrollment, in school enrollment. We understand why the data says that. We haven't found anything like we often do where, they left out, a census tract or something of that nature. But they are basing it on census numbers, number one. So that's a problem. We have to go back and adjust for that. But there's other assumptions that they're making, and they're clear. They lay that out that, this is an assumption we're making. If this happens, then this assumption will be wrong, basically. So we're just going to go through again and help to make sure that they're taking everything into
Good
account.
for you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is currently there a downward trend in the enrollment?
There has been, and I think more so from the cohort loss. They're losing more students from kindergarten. Each class is losing more students than they have in the past. So it's not solely we don't have as many kids enrolling in school. Our kindergarten classes have seen a decline, but we're seeing a larger cohort loss as they go through the system as well, and not many transfers in. So,
Isn't that just a lot due to declining population? The colleges come 26 are expecting to be down.
right, we haven't had a decline in population though.
Well, not the birth rates. If it wasn't for I've seen some articles where if it wasn't for the immigrants, you'd have a declining.
Oh, absolutely, no question. Yeah, no, that one's pretty easy. Yeah, we don't need much proof of that one. 100%. But Garden City hasn't seen a population decline, and that's why, to Ron's point, that's why the public was saying, hang on, every house is full, we can't build housing fast enough, and we have all these new jobs. Where other people, so there's a lot of things that go into it, but they're looking at, they're trying to look at it comprehensively. We do know that we have students who leave the district, even though they live in this district, they're leaving and going to other surrounding districts. A lot of them go to Holcomb, Ingalls, Sublette, Lakin. So it's just kind of a matter of balancing that out and making sure that we don't make a decision now to close a building and only to find out that, oops, we needed that building. So, yeah, they're taking a very serious look at it. And I think, as a community, we should be thankful for the people who are spending their time working on those boundary committees, because that is not fun work. And it is a little crystal ballish, They're trying to say, I think there'll be growth, and I think it'll be here. So they've got a lot on their plates, but we're happy to help ensure that they're looking at everything they need to look at there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I have to take
Thank you,
this.
Shannon.
I have to take this phone call.
Okay, we'll move on to new business, consideration of the 25 budget requests.
We barely get started in 24, and it's time to look at 25. So we do present our budget to the county budget committee, which is just an administrative committee, first week in April, and then we'll go before the county commission after that. So just wanted to get this in front of everybody. The budget committee met, which the budget committee consists of Stuart and Sam and Vicky. And we went through, and the only increase in requests that we're making to our partners is to Holcomb. We're requesting an additional $2,000. Holcomb has moved slowly through the increase over the years. They started at, I believe, 25,000 when they came in as partners. So we've moved them up very slowly, but we think this is probably a good time to make another ask for an increase with Holcomb. And then on the expense side, you can see the budget versus 25. We've not made many increases in particular line items. We've actually decreased a couple of line items simply because we haven't been using the funds. Certainly, if we came up on something and we needed to fund something that we had cut budget for, we can always come back and ask for an amendment and move some funds from one area to another to cover that. But we feel confident that we've got everything covered that we need. So happy to answer any questions about that. I'm sure any of your budget committee members would be happy to answer any questions also if you have them. And all we're asking from the board is to authorize us to utilize this budget as we make our requests to the county, the city of Holcomb, and Garden City Community College.
Do I hear a motion to,
I so move to approve the 25 budget.
are there any other questions, comments? Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the 2025 budget request. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. So the first week in April is,
Next week.
yeah. Is that when you present to them?
Not to the county commission, just to the administrative committee.
Okay.
Yeah, they've added a layer to how they do their budgeting there. So I will finish up the budget narrative, which just tells the story of what we're doing, and then they have a fillable form that I have to go through and complete that just talks about all the activities of the organization and goals for the future and all of that good stuff. So I have to submit that information. I told them I would get it submitted after it was approved through you guys today. And then I go before that budget committee on April 1st, so next Monday afternoon. And then we'll go before the county commission on, they had 2 dates, and I can't remember which one they put us on. No, it's like I still don't remember. Sorry. I'll have to let you know when that is.
Okay. Okay. Any further questions on that? We'll move on to old business. all the business? Okay. Upcoming events. The Chamber Banquet is up April 11th. And I understand we have a table, is that right?
We do,
Okay,
and it is full.
okay, great.
And that is at the college gym
Okay.
this year.
Okay, and then April 12th, the next day, is the endowment auction. So you can get tickets from
You can get wristbands online.
online?
Uh-huh,
Okay.
yep. Or you can just send your money with me, and I'll invest it wisely for you. I don't mind at all. Oh, I wasn't going to get you a wristband. I'm just going to use your money to buy things. Is that okay?
You don't have the wristband.
Now, most of it's online this year.
Is there a theme for this year?
It is country versus country club. So you can either wear your cowboy boots or your foot joys.
Okay. Very good. Any other comments, questions before we adjourn? It looks like our next meeting date is April 24th, and then beyond that is May 22nd. No other questions or comments? We'll adjourn, and we have a need for executive session.
Probably 15 minutes.
Okay? All right.
Do we need a motion for that?
Okay, motion and second.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? say
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.